Thank you everyone for joining today's webinar. The theme of today's webinar is driving profitability using vehicle telematics. And what we're going to do today is take a look at our offering that will hopefully help you generate new revenue in vehicle telematics. On the call with me today, I've got Danny Doyley, who's going to be taking us through product specifics and the level of support that we can get for you from the manufacturer, and obviously taking a look at the system and the portal and how it works. So just to set the scene, you may think that vehicle telematics is not for you. Maybe it's not in your wheelhouse. It's been around forever, but technology is moving on all the time now. It's no longer about seeing where a vehicle is and where it's been. It's more about using cameras and AI to monitor driver behavior, keep the driver safe on the road, other road users safe. And it's now more about protecting assets and driver well-being and safety, knowing what your staff are doing when they're driving company vehicles, basically. You can't be sat at the side of every driver watching what they do and how they drive, but the additional benefit we see when you can monitor and control driver behavior remotely is that you'll see a significant improvement in fuel efficiencies. You'll minimize wear and tear on vehicles, as well as keeping them on the road for longer, all of which will have a significant cost saving for the end user's business. And for you guys that are selling it, well, it gives you another reason to talk to an existing customer. I'm assuming every one of them will have a vehicle or multiple vehicles on the road, so the cross-sell upsell opportunity is significant. So I'm going to hand over to Danny in a second, who's going to take you through the deck and the solution itself. If we can keep questions to the end, I'll open up then and obviously answer any questions that anyone has. So Danny, can I hand over to you and pick up from here for me, please, mate?
I'm here to just give you a brief overview of the telematics solution and what we offer and how you can potentially add this into your portfolio. This is all about driving profitability, leveraging vehicle telematics across the board. So just to kind of give you a brief overview, the golden age of the 90s mobile market was a landscape the fortunate few partook in. Now, fast forward to the present, welcome to the thriving dashcam industry. So I joined telecommunications probably 2016, and selling company mobiles and hosted and communications was very big then. I know prior to me joining, it was even bigger. Now, if you look at the dashcam industry, we are at the beginning of it. Very few companies have deployed these type of solutions. Some companies know they need it, they want it, they don't necessarily know how to go about it. And you guys are going to be here to basically educate them and hopefully give them a solution that will meet their needs and requirements. So let's delve into some actual figures. A staggering 840,000 dash cams are already integrated into the UK vehicles. The BVRLA, which is the British Vehicle Rental and Leasing Association, estimate a whopping 12.3 million grey fleets in the UK, excluding PCOs and chauffeurs. Witness the dashcam market meteoric rise at an astonishing rate of 104%. Over 40% of fleets are either considering or have deployed dashcams. It's all about the technology. The early adopters now need more tech rather than simple camera recording. So echoing what Anton said, it's no longer just a case of where is my vehicle, what journeys did they go on, routes they took. People want to start looking at real-time analytical information, stuff that is going to help them predict driver behavior. So enabled to do that, they go for an AI-connected solution. There are only a handful of competitors at the moment in terms of value and offerings that are able to do what we do. But why the pressing need for dash cams in business operations? All of our models that we supply come with complete tracking, cloud, and roaming SIMs. Now, this is the KDC 507, which is our 2-in-1 dash cam. So forward-facing and internal passenger-facing. This would be our most popular model. We also have another model that allows you to have a forward-facing and rear camera if we have a different type of opportunity. Here's some of the USPs that kind of make us stand out from just a standard camera. So we have driver distraction, which detects mobile phone usage, eating, drinking, and smoking, which has become hugely popular, I would say, in the last 12 months with fleets of drivers. Accident detection, which automatically uploads footage to the portal, and a massive one for driver ID. Lots of customers tend to have things like RFID, so they have like card swipes that they type. So we're able to do facial recognition with the internal camera, which is perfect for vehicles that are shared, so pooled vehicles. So drivers that are going to be vehicles that are going to be used by multiple people. So we've got HD video, forward facing and internal. There's a lot of emphasis around things such as driver scoring. So what customers like to know is who are the best performing drivers and who are the worst performing. By having this kind of key information, we can see if there's anybody that needs additional driver training, anybody who's most likely to be at risk of having an accident in the near future. And this will also help with first notification of loss. So FNOL is an acronym, but first notification of loss. If you have an accident, is being notified that you've had one and having the footage to back it up to prove that you are a non-fault accident. Now, the majority of the customers that you're going to be approaching, they'll want to have it for maybe a reduction in insurance premiums. Also, they may want to have it for the obvious one is accidents, to know where the vehicle is, and to obviously give them analytical information that will help reduce costs such as fuel consumption and other factors. We provide real-time monitoring via our portal and a ticketing system, which you guys will have access to. Now, you guys will be able to see all of your customer information. So we will set up a reseller account, which will enable you to go in at any given time and have a look at all of your different customers if you wish to do so. It will also give you key information to see how those vehicles are being utilized. So you will be able to see, okay, out of say 30 vehicles, only 25 of that fleet might be utilized. So you might say 80% of their fleet is being utilized and the rest isn't. So all of this key information can really help them understand how they're using their fleet and how they can use it better. So in essence, it's just about embracing a growing market. It's all about revolutionizing safety standards and emphasizing operational efficiency for businesses navigating the modern roadscape. So again, guys, this is going to be a really easy conversation to have with your existing customers. There's going to be customers that you provide your solutions to at the moment that are contacting companies like myself and saying, we need to get a camera in, we need to get tracking in, we need to have a portal that's easy to use. We want to be able to look at this kind of information. We want to be able to pull this kind of report. And this solution is going to enable you to do so. What we really want to get across to you guys is you've got support direct from the supplier. You've got support from Zest. By having our portal, you're going to be able to have a lot of key information that your users are going to really love and enjoy. Now, how we're going to support you on that is any opportunity where you have somebody remotely interested in a telematics solution, we will either do a joint site visit. I will support you guys as much as humanly possible. I can offer your customers trials. You know, we have two types of ways you can install this solution. We can install this in what we call an OBD self-installation model, or we can do a hardwired into the fuse box scenario. So we've got lots of ways that we can support you guys and getting these opportunities across the line. All you've got to do is get me on a call and I'll support you as much as humanly possible and take it from there. I think, Anton, that's pretty much it in a nutshell.
Okay, thanks, Danny. So before I open up for sort of questions, I just want to cover off, so from a Zest4 point of view and for the partners' point of view, what does it look like commercially. Now, I'm not going to be sharing costs on this webinar because it's an open webinar, and you guys will be buying from us at a wholesale level. So you will then obviously want to add your margin before it goes out to customers. And the last thing I want to do is put something out there where your customers may get sight of your wholesale pricing. But we basically have two models for you now that you can use to utilize this and push this out to your base. The first one is a one-off upfront fee for the camera, and then you pay a monthly licensing fee for the platform. The platform will then allow you to obviously monitor all your customer data, see your sort of partner devices, and as Danny said, we can then tier that so that your end user can have the same access to the portal, but just see their own devices. So it's quite hierarchical. The second option is for us to amortize the cost of the camera into the monthly fee. Clearly, this is going to increase the monthly fee, but it will remove the barrier of any upfront cost for the end user. So the only cost they'll have then is the install fee, which if they do it themselves using an OBD is going to be free. If they're having it hardwired into the fuse box, then obviously there's the cost for that, which is it varies sort of around the country where you are, etc., who you use, but you're looking about sort of 50-60 quid usually for a basic install. And as I said, these are wholesale prices, so you will just need to add your margin on it and resell it. So for me, next steps, we're happy to do as many portal demos as you need us to do. We're happy to sit as many customer visits as you need, whether that be sort of face-to-face or online, and basically use us as a medium for you to be able to sort of sell this product into your channel. We won't be offering anything direct to end users. So basically, if you guys don't sell any of this, we don't sell any of it. So we are there to be, I suppose, an extension of your sales function in vehicle telematics. So what I'm going to do now is open anyone up for questions. So if you want to raise your hand and if you've got a question, I'll try and sort of unmute your microphone so that we can have a chat and see what we can do.
Thanks, guys. Quite an interesting demonstration that. I'd be quite interested to find out about storage of information, how long that's stored for, etc. So how long can the client go back and look at his information?
Thank you for asking that question. So in relation to the physical hardware itself, it has internal storage on the unit, and it also has an SD card in there. The SD card is for continuous footage. Now, what I mean by that is if, for example, today is Monday and I have my camera installed, that will then give me around 10 to 12 days based on an 8-hour driving time before that SD card information overwrites itself. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, that's if I want to go into the portal randomly, I've got about, I'll probably say 12 to 14 days of that. I can just randomly pick a day, pick a bit of footage and request it. That is totally different to a triggered event. Now, if you are driving your vehicle and say, for example, you mount a curb really hard or you hit a pylon, or someone lightly bumps into you in an Asda or Sainsbury's car park, that is called a triggered event. That will then upload into the portal automatically, and that will be visible to you and your client for 30 days. Now, you might say to me, what happens after 30 days? After 30 days, that footage that has been triggered will go into our Microsoft Azure data center. So it will always be there for us. And I think we are allowed to keep it as part of our ISO for up to 3 years before then it has to be deleted. So on your portal, 30 days. And then if you needed to request it, you could then obviously ask us again. But the great thing about it is if you have a triggered event, you can right hand click the video and save it to your desktop and stick it in a folder.
Okay.
Hopefully that answered your question.
Yeah, one other part actually, I do actually have a dash cam in my vehicle. I can manually record an event by pressing the button on the dash cam.
Yeah, panic button.
Yeah, is that available on this device?
Yes, it is, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much. I'll mute myself and let somebody else have a question.
Hey, Keith, I've got the portal up on screen at the moment, Keith. So just so you can see, so I've got sort of a camera in a couple of my vehicles just so we can get some sort of demo footage. So these are the types of events that we'll see that are automatically triggered by the camera. So I can see, for me, it's more harsh acceleration and harsh braking. And I will say, I've been doing this on purpose so we can capture some video. It's not my erratic driving, or that's my excuse. So if we click on here, it then shows you, obviously we've got an internal one. It shows you where the vehicle is, and then you can get a stream of the video to what's happened. And then this is the one for the panic button. Again, I've been pressing the panic button a couple of times just to generate some footage. And then we can see, again, internal and external of the vehicle at the time when we press the panic button, what was happening in sort of HD video. Again, there was nothing happening here. I just pressed it just to try and capture some footage and information for demo purposes. If that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Any more questions, guys?
I'll butt in. I'll be quite
Go on,
keen.
Keith. Keep us going, mate. Keep us going.
I'd be quite keen for you to email me across the costings, please.
Of course, Keith. Yeah.
I'll be quite keen on that. And I think it's quite standard, apart from the AI part of it. Actually, the quality of the camera seems pretty good. So it'll boil down to pounds, shilling, and pence. Because I do. In a previous life, I used to actually sell trackers. Through Tracker, in fact, in a previous life. So I probably have got quite a few customers out there who currently still enjoy them.
And I think just from that point, Keith, video is the next level. You will find customers that just have trackers, and it doesn't take much convincing to upgrade them to something that supports video, because a lot of things are happening nowadays. Insurance premiums are going up. A lot of people can't prove that their accidents are non-fault unless you've got video. So this really is going to be an easy opportunity to say, guys, if you've got a fleet of vehicles, how are you protecting your asset? How are you protecting your driver? Ultimately, a lot of your customers are going to be leasing their vehicles on 3-year, 5-year terms. Their sales staff members, managerial staff are going to have different levels of vehicles, whether it's a Mercedes, a BMW, you've got a fleet of Skodas, etc. Having that extra protection goes a long way, and to be able to have that support, and because the technology is always changing, is always developing. Everybody I remember when everybody used to throw the word around unified communications. Nobody knew what the hell unified communications was, but now it's just kind of standard to have things like VoIP systems, being able to call from your desktop and stuff like that, when it was so brand new 6, 7, 8, 9 years ago. That's where we are in terms of the AI stuff, driver ID, eating, drinking, smoking, mobile phone usage, wear and tear on the vehicles, being able to give accurate information, when is your MOT and service due on your vehicles. All that kind of stuff is advantageous to the fleet manager, to anybody who's looking after the vehicles. If you're able to say, well, hold on, Mr. Customer, I can give you all that information, so you aren't having to put it on a spreadsheet. You aren't having to go into another 2 tabs to find out information. It's all within one. You can put things down like license check information. If any of your drivers have points, you can run your reports as to how they are doing on mileage. You may decide that you want to move them away from a petrol and upgrade them and put them onto a electric vehicle because they're using more mileage and it's more cost effective. These are all the conversations that your customers are going to be having internally within themselves, and they'll be looking for companies online like myself that do this. We work with a lot of companies like councils and stuff like that, where regulations are changing. So councils are a good opportunity to get into, especially as their new funding is going to be issued. I'll be able to kind of give you guys an insight as to what sectors that you guys could maybe look into your existing customer base and think, oh, actually, where could we potentially get some low-hanging fruit for people that might be remotely interested in this? But the beauty of this solution is this can apply to absolutely anybody. Literally anybody. So this doesn't have to be limited to only construction, only painter and decorators. This is absolutely anybody that is running a fleet of vehicles. I believe we had a question that just came up, Anton.
Yeah. If vehicle used for private as well as work, is the hardware able to be turned off for the private usage?
Okay, so just to kind of let you know how the solution works is, at the moment, depending on either type of installation method, when the vehicle is switched off, it's not recording. When the ignition is turned on, that's when the camera starts recording. Now, if, for example, I am with my partner and kids, and for whatever reason, I didn't want my internal camera to be showing, we have two options. You can either adjust the interior camera so it's not showing anything private, or we can supply the camera with a cover that covers the interior lens, but we can't actually physically
turn the camera off. So you will find that the camera will still be so the device will still be recording the journey and the mileage, etc. And again, that may be useful because even though it's private use, your company vehicle may still want to track how many miles it's done, servicing, etc. But what you can do, as Danny said, is block the camera. I installed one of these in my wife's vehicle, again, to get some sort of demo footage, but she was adamant she didn't want the internal camera, so I installed it behind a sun visor, so the sun visor can be pulled down so that obviously the camera doesn't pick anything up internally, because I didn't have the cover at the time. So there are ways and means of doing it, but you've got no way of actually stopping the vehicle doing the telematics information, if that makes sense.
Does it record the audio inside the vehicle? First question. And the second one is, what's the maximum size of memory card that can be installed?
So the maximum size memory card is 128 gig. But again, because we encrypt the data, you're going to get a lot of bang for your buck. We also have something called time lapse, which basically allows us to get longer recording lengths on like a sped up version. So if you were watching something on Netflix and you press fast forward, imagine that. So we can get longer recording times of 30 minutes at a time. So yes, 128 is going to give you around 100 hours of recording time. We can still do longer footage requests through time lapse. So we can probably go back as close to, say, maybe about 3 weeks, as far as that's concerned.
And the audio?
Oh, sorry, and also audio. We don't record audio at present.
Okay.
It's just something that we opted to do. Does the unit have capabilities to do so? Yes, it does, because it has a speaker inside of it. But we just obviously opted not to do that because we do quite a lot in London, because we're London based, on Transport for London. And as part of their regulations is that we're not allowed to record audio on different types of vehicles. But again, if there's something that is, a deal breaker, we could certainly look into it. Because we own the portal, because obviously we own the hardware, we've got a lot of flexibility in what we can offer. So if there was something, bespoke within, a reasonable request, this is something that we can look into. If you wanted a custom field on the portal to display a certain bit of information, then obviously we can do that as well. We will also be launching an application which will be available on your customers' mobiles, which will allow them to look and monitor and see how things are operational. You'll be able to see things like your live view. We also will be doing what we call push notifications, which will basically say, if, for example, there was a detection of something not working on a camera, we can send through a notification direct to the driver to say, basically, could you give your dealer a call because we need to have a look at your camera. And we can do remote diagnostics. So it doesn't matter where they are in the country. We can offer replacements within 24 to 48 hours. If the camera needs a service, then obviously we can look into that as well. So you've got a lot of resources at your beck and call, basically.
Thank you.
Anybody else got a question? There must be one question, even if it's small, silly, doesn't matter. Ask away, guys.
No, okay. I think we're probably running out, Danny. So what's going to happen from here? The webinar has been recorded, so if anybody wants to view it again, you will get a link to do that. And again, please share this with other members of your sales teams, so that they can see it. If anybody is interested in finding out commercially, what this looks like for them, Keith, I've already got your request. Either come to me or come to sort of your account manager, and we can sort of set that up for you. And then moving forwards, if you want to do any customer demos and anything like that, get in touch with me. I'll bring Danny in and we can do a full demo of the portal and show your customer the real benefits that they're going to get from using something like this. So thank you for your time today. I really appreciate everyone that's attended, and I'll hopefully speak to you very soon, and we'll start getting some of these through. Thanks all.
Thank you.
Guys.